What's up, everybody? It's Mike from GI Dojo. Today we're going to look at my game room slash lair slash headquarters. We're going to look at all my stuff. If I drag this video out, it could take an hour. So we're going to kind of speed run through things, but feel free to pause the video and, let me know if there's anything that you have a question about. Some of the stuff will be in future videos. We got a guy right there is going to end up in a future video, and just picked up Dr. Isotope. He's going to be in a future video, but today we're looking at the game room is what me and my family call it. We'll come back around to the whole G.I. Joe compound in a second. First off, here's my little entertainment center. I need some seating in here. I did have an IKEA couch, but I'm gonna go with like this inflatable recliner thing. So for right now, it's just kind of an empty room. All right, up on the wall, got a family picture from Legoland. We got a Nintendo Power Dino Wars Nintendo game poster. We got Alf from Alf Magazine. Here are some production stills of Beavis and Butthead, Butthead here from Beavis and Butthead Do America. Beavis and Butthead poster. Probably my number one love in life is, my wife, my daughter, Beavis and Butthead, rollerblading, G.I. Joe, and, other action figures and video games in no other particular order, but I absolutely love Beavis and Butthead. My favorite, it's my favorite TV show. I'll never get sick of it. So here is a production animation cell from a TV episode. Now, got Dr. Steve Brule, if you guys know who he is. It's an Adult Swim character played by John C. Reilly. Vintage Atari player on board, window sign from the 80s instead of having baby on board. And I have these Atari signs. They're Atari mobiles that they're two-sided, and you can hang them from the ceiling, and it has the same image on both sides. A lot of people mistake them as store displays, but they're actually birthday party decorations. We got some 12-inch DC figures I've been picking up recently. They're $10 and I love them. It's got some Ninja Turtle boxes up top. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't obsessed with Ninja Turtles when I was a kid. I was born in 1984. I hit kindergarten and August '89, and it's probably the biggest pop culture phenomenon of all time is Ninja Turtles. So I'm a big Ninja Turtle fan. We got the re-release Party Wagon. This whole shelf is the non-turtle heroes. That's the rare hotspot figure, but it's a 3D printed one. The rest of them are all legit. Snuck a the Toxic Crusader in there. Here is our villain shelf. And again, the $1,000 scratch figure. I have a 3D printed one I need to paint. I've been army building rock soldiers. There's my android body. Chrome Dome, all the cool ones, Mutagen Man. I got a couple foot soldiers. You never have too many foot soldiers. Here's my turtles with April, Vernon, and Splinter. I decided to not really collect the variants, just the 1988 releases. All the wacky variants, just makes your collection look like a sea of green. This Michelangelo plush, I've had that since I was, 6 years old. A pizza box is actually a 2012 sewer playset, and this Volkswagen Beetle here is the what's it called? The something 4x4, the Shellback 4x4, but I've modified it to be a normal street car instead of a 4x4. Still need to make axles for it. Here's some Masters of the Universe classics. I was picking these up. I had a couple He-Man figures when I was a kid, before I really, took off with G.I. Joe around '87. I had some '86 and '87 Masters. And I have a little bit of nostalgia for them, but I'm actually selling these on eBay right now, this whole lot, along with the Castle Grayskull. One of my favorite toy lines as a kid, when I was about 9 or 10, was Mighty Max. These are like the little play sets you open up, and they have micro figures inside. Going back to the TV stand here, you know, I got half of these are vinyl, but the other half are Laserdisc TV and movies. Got a lot of periodicals here, trading cards. This is all Beavis and Butthead stuff in here. I got a never been worn, excuse me, I lost my video for a second. Never been worn pair of Beavis and Butthead Adidas shoes. The whole series of the comics, the books, the trading cards. Here's my spare, you know, controller cords and stuff like that in the IKEA bin. Here's my little devices. I got the NES, VHS, HD DVD, Laserdisc, Atari 7800, and that's an HD Sega Genesis. Just got this cheap TV I got for free from my wife's work. Down here I have a Adventure Team headquarters that I've disassembled, and I'm trying to encase it in plexiglass instead of that thin vinyl. It was sticky, so you know it was already like a loss anyway. I had to get that sticky plastic off of it. Here's a poster I've been flattening out and hanging up on the wall. Running out of battery here, guys. More Beavis and Butthead paraphernalia. That's a Best Buy store display. These are like really rare fan-made Beavis and Butthead Star Wars figures. A 3D poster if you have the 3D glasses. Old Nintendo poster. It's just some Hall of Fame figures that I'm gonna feature in a future video. We got our Adventure Team headquarters. We got the Adventure Team vehicle. Got our old 1964 marine camo pup tent that I have mounted onto a piece of wood. I have little finishing nails as the stakes, and I made my own posts, you know, that hold the tent up. Here's our World Peacekeepers watchtower you guys have seen in a previous video. A couple Cotswold figures, classic collection, Action Man, Halo. This is the Action Man Mission HQ from 1999. It was a UK exclusive, and I imported that. It's my daughter's redhead G.I. Joe firecracker, she calls it, and her G.I. dog. We got the World Peacekeepers tent, picked that up recently. World Peacekeepers Ninja. And here's the G.I. Joe Training Center, Adventure Team Training Center. There's Dr. Isotope, and I got my cool new decals in the training center. Here's some spare boxes and spare accessories. Got my 13-inch CRT VHS TV. Old foot locker, bunch of odds and ends, stuff I use for repairs and cleaning. Here's my record player. VHS holder, has all my childhood home videos, and that looks vintage, but it's a modern Crosley. I dabble in Legos a little bit, but you know that can get crazy, so I limit myself. Here's the big collection wall. You guys want to check that out? You can pause it. You know, we got missed a couple things. Here's my space capsule that I can actually throw off buildings with a 60-inch parachute and recover it without breaking. A couple Spy Troopers era 2003 vehicles with a classic collection, you know, grunt figure and a rock and roll that was from, I think, like the late 2000s. It's a Toys R Us 3-pack, and it's kind of a rare figure, but that doesn't mean it's valuable. Here's a Star Wars figure, my only Star Wars toy that my wife bought me years ago. Nintendo poster, Micro Machines. There's another Beavis and Butthead poster, Kool-Aid. We got an Action Man I got in the box for $10, so kept him in the box. That little guy is from a Sega game, Virtual On, I used to love. But yeah, back to the collection wall. We got Hall of Fame. Building a complete set of Hall of Fame. I've had it in the past, but an almost complete set, but I had a collection sell off when I had some money troubles about 6 years ago and been rebuilding it. Here's our 4 branches of military. That one is a masterpiece, and these are 40th. Masterpiece with a reproduction Green Beret, Cotswold body with the 40th Air Force dress. There's the German I'm putting together. I need some pants and I need to paint that helmet. Australian fighter from the Timeless collection. Here's our Walmart G.I. Joes adventure team. I need to get a land adventure costume for him. This is the newer Cotswold African American adventurer. Got the Urban Adventurer Club exclusive. Here's our Mike Power that we picked up recently and cleaned up and put new hands and new uniform. There's my Bullet Man, and this is before Bullet Man lost his arms. I made a Bullet Man out of all new parts. It has a Defender head, reproduction metal helmet, reproduction singlet, sticker, reproduction belt, reproduction boots, Guyper Man body, Spy Troop Cobra Commander that I think scales well and kind of matches with you know, the adventure team or the 60s Joes. Here's old 2000, the year 2000 lunchbox. Got some superhero figures, newer ones, a couple 80s ones there, the Spider-Man and Wolverine and the DC. You get those at Walmart now. They're from McFarlane Toys. World's Smallest G.I. Joe there, I think he was called. A couple random collector high-end Ninja Turtles. Super Soaker Man, that's the action figure based on the Super Soaker toy line, and he actually shoots water like 30 feet. A couple arcade games, you know, they actually power on. Mattel's Food Fighters. Here's my close, you know, curated Hot Wheels collection here. I got a couple cars in reserve in the closet, but these are mostly passengers, passenger 50s cars. A couple muscle cars mixed in and some cop cars. I love cop cars. You know, I drive a 2011 Crown Vic Interceptor. Here's a couple Beavis and Butthead skateboards, Super Soaker, some Hot Wheel track. It's a handy dandy high-end Atari joystick. Here's some stickers, random stickers and from pop culture stuff. Crystal Pepsi poster. Hope we don't run out of battery here. These are some modern reproduction Ninja Turtles that I picked up cheap and just wanted some mint on card figures to put on the wall. This is my whole media shelf. All DVD, Blu-ray, CDs, VHS. Got every Bond film that was ever released on VHS down there. Some Universal Monsters, cartoons, Atari 7800 games. There's Christine, little Matchbox drive-in playset. A small portion of my huge Beavis and Butthead collection. It's mostly packed up, but I rotated in and out. It's an arcade marquee for Virtua Fighter that's glass and mirrored. I've had this Beavis and Butthead carnival mirror hanging up in my place of residence, whether it was my childhood bedroom or, you know, my adult houses. I've had that since '94. There's a Hall of Fame underwater attack mission gear kit. There's a Duke. He's gonna stay in the box, and I got another one I'm gonna open. Another Spider-Man, Batman, James Bond Jr., a couple NECA figures that one of my friends, Mike, good friend of mine, Mike, got me. Another present from Mike, the Tetris, light up Tetris blocks. One more look at the media shelf. Cool. Oh yeah, here's a cool 50s Hot Wheels kit from Target around the early 2000s. And that's a Pizza Hut Matchbox playset that my wife got me, I think, for Christmas last year, I believe. Here we got some more DVD, VHS. Got a whole Sergeant Savage shelf, and I've integrated some of these commemorative collection guys in. Kool-Aid pitcher, 3D printed Gunstar from The Last Starfighter. You know, Pizza Hut basketball I got recently. Here's my shelf of Valaverse Action Force figures. I need to build that line out some more. And this is my little, you know, area dedicated to Joe Bob Briggs and the last drive-in show. He used to be on Monster Vision on TNT in the 90s. And that's Joe Bob's trailer park there. Bunch of trailers, bunch of RVs. Joe Bob and Darcy figures. These are some mini posters from a content creator I follow pretty closely named DinosaurDracula.com. His name's Matt, and he posts all kinds of cool like pop culture food items and, you know, stuff that you wouldn't normally think about, that you forgot that existed, you forgot that you had an experience with as a kid. So yeah, that's the quick and dirty tour of the room. Trying to see if I left anything out. If you have any questions, leave a comment. And, you know, eventually I'll get some furniture in here and we'll do a more, maybe a slower, more in-depth video. You know, I don't really collect Funko Pops, but I got a couple right there that were presents from my wife and my daughter, and that I bought specifically, that I love. You know, my daughter just picked me up this Skipper, so now I gotta get Gilligan too. Oh, yeah, this is really cool. Beavis and Butthead Do America popcorn bag and the soda cup you get at the theater. Like, who would save a popcorn bag? But I'm glad they did. So anyway, yeah, that's Mike from GI Dojo. Hope you guys enjoyed the little room tour. Have a good one. Oh, wait, one more thing. Here's this Action Man pillow I picked up, pillowcase. And I had a couple questions from my new buddy Eddie in the comments to see this Action Man blanket. I'm gonna make a cut here. Okay guys, I need to clean my kitchen, so don't judge me. But I had to spread this out so you guys can see it. This is the 90s Hasbro era Action Man twin size bed duvet cover or comforter. You know, it doesn't have any padding in it, but it's split to where you can put another comforter inside of it. And it's almost like a you know, modern era Sears exclusive training center mat. You know, I threw the training center on it, which mine actually does happen to be a Sears, which you could tell by the black console and the fact that the lot that I bought came with the spotlight. Got our new handy dandy GI Joe. That's our Cotswold beater. That's gonna see some action, some parachuting and zip lining and stuff. So he's hanging out. Get another look over here, and there's an Action Man that I placed on the boat as a kid would do. You know, here's like Dr. X's compound. You know, that was the big villain, kind of like the Cobra Commander of Action Man. And I mean, hey, you could probably even sit an Action Man kind of like on top of that GI or that Jeep right there, you know, to make it look like you had a Jeep. Okay, and one final look. This is the other side of the duvet cover. Probably leaves a lot to be desired for you vintage GI Joe guys, or even you are Real American Hero guys. But you know, I like the Action Man line because the Hasbro one, because it's just a continuation of the Hall of Fame series. And some of you guys have heard in my previous videos that I'm a big fan of the Hall of Fame series, despite all its flaws. So if you're looking for one of these, I've only ever seen one. I don't even know if the internet really knows it exists. I'm sure somebody in the GI Joe forums has seen it before, but it's definitely not a cheaper and more readily available alternative to the Adventure Team Training Center mat. You'd probably be a lot better off buying one from Third Son Books. He sells reproductions. This thing, I only paid about $20 for the set, but I've only ever seen one. So anyway, that's the GI Dojo room tour of, well, I call it the game room, but I guess I should call it the dojo. So that's the GI Dojo tour. Have a good one, guys.